Yo, what's up guys, Tanmay for Simple Snippets. Welcome back to another video tutorial on Java programming. So today's topic is going to be upcasting versus downcasting in Java. Now in the previous video tutorial of this playlist, that is Java programming, which we've been covering since past 1 month, we discussed the concept of typecasting, that is the widening versus narrowing or implicit versus explicit typecasting. So if you have missed that video, you can check it out in this playlist. And if you are new on this channel, check out this channel. We have a lot of video tutorials on information technology and computer science oriented subjects. And currently I'm covering core Java programming. So let's start off with today's topic, that is upcasting versus downcasting. So as you can see, you can open up your Chrome browser because we'll first start off with a little bit of theory from our official website, that is simplesnippets.tech. On this website, you can go under the courses, under the core Java section, and you'll find a lot of topics. Let me just show you. So as of today, that is 14th of May 2018, we have these many topics. You can see all these are links to different articles on topics of core Java or Java programming in general. So yeah, this is the topic that we are going to cover today, that is upcasting versus downcasting, and it's not a really complex topic. It will be a quick short video. So open up this article. What I'll do is I'll drop this link in the video description so you can directly go to this article. So starting off with upcasting versus downcasting in Java, let me just zoom in a little bit. So upcasting is casting a subtype to a supertype upwards to the inheritance tree. Okay, let me just read it out once again because this is the simple definition. Upcasting is casting a subtype to a supertype upwards to the inheritance tree. Now this implicitly means that inheritance is involved in this upcasting and downcasting, right? So without that, this is not possible. And upcasting happens automatically and we don't have to explicitly do anything. So let's see a program. In fact, if you watch this entire playlist, in the video of instance of operator, we talked a little bit about upcasting and we also talked a little bit about downcasting. And in our video of method overriding, we explicitly or implicitly did the upcasting functionality. So this is just an extension, just a difference between the two. So this is a program example wherein we have a class parent. We have a class child that extends the parent, and in the main function what I'm doing is I'm using the parent object obj1, you can see over here, but I'm referencing it to child class. So I'm using the object of parent class to call the method of child class, that is show, which is overridden over here. So this is basically upcasting, or you can also relate this with method overriding, that is dynamic polymorphism. And downcasting is exactly opposite to that. So in this image you can see what exactly is happening in downcasting. So this yellow one is upcasting, wherein I'm using parent p object to reference to the child class. So this is upcasting. And when we go to do the opposite thing, that is creating a child from a parent, it is not possible. It gives us a compile time error. So this is directly me trying to do downcasting, which is not possible in Java. However, it is indirectly possible. So say for example, if my parent object is pointing towards a child now, then I can create a child out of that parent object, because the parent object by default is referencing a child, right? So I can create a new child object using that parent object, and here I have to specify this child class explicitly in brackets. So as you can see, this is that syntax, and this is where downcasting happens properly. So when subclass type refers to the object of parent class, it is known as downcasting, and if you perform it directly, we get compilation error. So if you perform it by typecasting, you'll get a ClassCastException error which is thrown at runtime. But you can use an instance of operator to check whether downcasting is possible, and we'll see that in this program. So we also have a program example over here. You can go through it. I've used the instance of operator, and we've covered instance of operator extensively in our video, in 1 or 2 videos before this inside this playlist. So you can check that. So yeah, this was a little bit about theory, and let's jump to the programming part. So let's see the upcasting and downcasting in action, and then we'll talk about when exactly would we need upcasting or downcasting. So first let's create parent class. So I'm going to say class parent. Inside that I'm just going to create a method void show. I'm going to print out parent, and then I'm going to create a class child. I'm going to perform inheritance. We've talked about inheritance in this entire playlist. So I'm going to say class child extends parent. I'm again going to override this method. Just add the annotation override. And I'm going to print child. And I'm also going to have one more method which is going to be show child, which is going to be unique to the child class, and it's not there in the parent class, right? So again, I'm going to print child class unique method. Okay, so these are the two classes we perform in inheritance, and let's move on to the main function or main method. So let's perform upcasting first, which is dynamic polymorphism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say parent obj1 is equal to new, and I have got two options. If I hit control space, you can see these are the two options, that is child and parent. So I can reference it to a child object also, or I can reference it to child class. So that's what I'm going to do. And now if I say obj1 dot show, if I save this and if I run this, there you go, in the output you can see I've got child as an output. So I'm using the object which is actually a parent object, but since it is referencing the child class, we are calling the method show of the child class. That's why child is getting printed. Now one drawback here is that I cannot use this object to print show child, because show child is not there in parent, right? So I cannot use this object because this object is actually a parent object, right? You can see the data type over here or the type of class. So I cannot say show child over here. So this will give me an error. You can see the error, cannot find symbol or method show child variable object 1 of type parent, right? So this is an error. So understand this, that upcasting only can be possible to reference methods in the child class which are already there in the parent class. Okay, so now let's see an example of downcasting. So now this object 1 is currently referencing to a child class, right? So what I can do is I can say child obj2 is equal to obj1. However, this will give me an error because it will say incompatible types, parent cannot be converted to child, because the program doesn't know that object 1 is referencing to a child class, but we know it, right? We can see it live over here. So in order to tell the program that it's totally safe, we typecast it, and this is how the typecasting goes. So this is downcasting basically. So I'm going to say it's okay because object 1 is referencing a child. That's why object 2, which is inherently a child class, can be created from object 1. Okay, so if I save this, and now if I say obj2 dot show, you can see I can get the other method also, that is show child now, because object 2 is basically a child object, right? You can see the type. So that's why object 2 can now call show child. However, object 1 cannot do that even though it is referencing child, because it is inherently a parent object. So this is that difference between the two scenarios over here, or two objects over here. So if I save this and run this, you can see child class unique method, which is this method being called. So now you must be wondering, when is this scenario occurring when we have to use upcasting or downcasting? Oh, before that I also wanted to show you the use of instance of operator. So the instance of operator can be used to check whether this object 1 is an object of parent class or is an object of child class. Okay, so because instance of operator gives us a boolean value in return, so it returns us a boolean value that is true or false depending upon the condition. So if I say if obj1 space instance of child, only then perform the typecasting, right? So you can do that over here. So this if will help me in identifying whether this object 1 is referencing the child class or not, and if it is referencing, only then typecast it, otherwise I'll get an error, right? So if I say parent over here, I will get a runtime error over here if I did not have this if. In fact, you know what, I'll just show it to you right now. If I cut this and paste it over here, I should be getting an error. Let's save this and let's try to run this. There you go, you can see I got an exception, which is ClassCastException, because parent object 1 is a parent object only and it is referencing parent class only. So I cannot create object 2 using object 1. Okay, I cannot downcast it over here. But if it is referencing a child class, then I can downcast it. But this happens at runtime, right? So in order to check that, we are using that if case, wherein we are using the instance of operator to check which object is being referenced by object 1 over here. So if I say if obj1 instance of child, only then perform the downcasting. So you're getting the point, right? So this is where that check is happening, and I know that it is safe to use this. So if I save this and if I run this now, I'll get child class unique method. However, if I'm saying this is a parent class, so it won't do anything. You can see. So here I'm not getting that exception at least. So my program is not being stopped in between and I'm not getting a runtime problem. So yeah, this was a little bit about the programming aspect of upcasting and downcasting. So upcasting generally would be used when you want to reference multiple child classes and you want to call their respective overridden methods. So let's say you have one parent class animal and you have multiple animals like dog, cat, parrot or something like that. And then every child has a unique method and have a common method. Let's say every child class has a method of eat. Okay. So what you can do is you can use the single object of animal and make it reference individual child classes at a particular time when it is necessary, and then you can call their respective methods using that same animal class object. And downcasting would be used when you want to address the unique methods of the child class and not the general methods which are there in all the classes. So in that case you can downcast it. If it is possible, you need to first check if downcasting is possible using the instance of operator or instance of keyword, and then you can perform the downcasting to call its unique methods. So yeah, this was a little bit about upcasting versus downcasting in Java programming. I hope the idea is clear. You can check out the theoretical article if you are preparing your answers, and you can see the examples also. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you understood this concept. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, guys. Let me know in the comments how this video was. Share it with your friends, and if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe because there are a lot of video tutorials coming soon, and there are already a lot of videos on this channel, so go check them out as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next video tutorial. Peace.